Now the basis of all of these kits started way back when with the Altoids, which is this size 10. I personally hate these things. The mints, I just can't stand them. The 10s are pretty nice. But, as you can see, there are a lot of other types of containers that you can use to do the same thing. You can purchase, if you don't like the tins like, or the candy like I don't, you can buy the tin about the same size for about the same price as the Altoids. Get all the junk out here. Again, some of the options. This was a case that some of my medical gear came in, which some people might be more likely to carry this than an Altoids tin. You got your big bags, you got your little bags, got your Crayola tins of several different sizes. Small ones, this has rope in it. Tea containers, medical bottles, some other tins, 8 ounce, smaller, it's bigger. And you got the heavy duty Ziplocs. You can buy tins or kits in these bottles. You can make your own with a stainless steel bottle. I had this custom carrier made by a good friend of mine that she macro made that right up for me. So I've got, there's 300 feet of paracord there.
Wow.
And various other kits. These, basically, you can roll up some money, some medication, whatever in these. Like I said, all sorts of sizes. But this is where you start. Can I have one of those papers? Because I really lost my stuff here. Pretty much went over the first. All sorts of things you can do. Variation. One of the things about this is if you're going to have it, make it a good one. That it's one of the cases where having something is better than nothing most of the time. And believe me when I say I'm a believer in that. But having something that is not useful, that has junk in it, is worse than having nothing, because you're depending on something you think you're going to be able to deal with a situation, and really you can't, because the junk you've got's not going to do it. It's minimal to start with, one of these little kits. As you can see in the paperwork, that if you have to use it, it's going to be some difficult times, and so you want gear that not only will work, but that you actually know how to use. Comes back to what Vic has said, what Rob has said, what Glenda has said. Use this stuff. Don't pack it away, put it away, and never work with it. Use some of these things. Now, are you really going to carry this? As you can see, my warped sense of humor in here, that maybe not. But like I said, if you do, make it a good one. Now, I am a closet Batman utility belt major fanboy, and that if I didn't have a bad back, I would have about a 6-inch larger waistline, because I would have a utility belt on. But I can't carry it. I can't even carry a Leatherman on my belt without throwing my back out. If you want a nice one, Todd's not here today. He can make you a nice leather one. You can buy cases for these tins. One of the good things about them, you can have goods that with you that will get you by. You can throw it, you got a pocket in your door on your vehicle, you got the console, you got your gym bag. You can put these kits pretty much anywhere, and that allows you to have some stuff with you that you might not carry otherwise. And Rob mentioned the other day that he's made some of these kits up for friends and relatives. And it's a good way to introduce a non-prepper to prepping, that you can work with them and put a small kit together so they know how to use everything. Or if you just want to make sure they've got something, you can put a good one together and just give it to them as a gift, and then encourage them to start using it. So what do you put in these things? Well, there's lots of pictures here. It's pretty much what you want for your specific application. That there are some general things in common. One is fire making, another is signaling, some type of navigational instrument like a compass, some type of sharps, which is a knife. You can add water filtering and purification materials, and sometimes a way to carry water, writing instrument, waterproof paper. Some of the kits you can buy little mini saws to add to or in lieu of a knife. You can do fishing gear, cordage, first aid, all of this stuff in the list, even food in some of them, which is these little kits. You're not going to get much food in them. It just has room, and that's not the purpose of this kit. This is not to get you, it's not a 3-day kit. It's not a get home bag. It's a take care of me right now where I am kit. So, we're preppers, we're going to know how to use most of this stuff. Sometimes I could not tell you what the airplane signal symbols are off the top of my head. My memory doesn't work that way. So you can have cards and information that you can put in the kit. You can buy some cards. You can print up your own, like Audrey showed us. That was medical information, but you can do that for other types. You can put it on waterproof paper, cut to the right size. You can print it on labels, mailing labels, and glue them to the inside of the can so you've got them there. And some of these kits come, I mean, they are chock full. Some of them sell kits that leave you a little space to add your own items. Problem with some of the kits that you buy, if you ever open it, it's not going back in the way it came out. Kind of a Pandora's box sort of thing. One of the things is some of the kits come with things you're going to have to rotate, so you are going to have to open it. Others are strictly long-term stuff that as long as you know what's in there and know how to use it, you can pretty much leave it sealed up. A lot of them come with, because if you do open it, it's going to get moisture in it, so put a desiccant in it when you make your own. And if you need to, you can have kind of a double kit. One would have the hardware and another one that has the consumables that you will rotate. Medicine if you have to carry one, the food if you do it. Now, one of the things about cordage, it can take up quite a bit of room. I don't like cordage inside, so with the one that I carry myself as part of my stuff, I carry in a big bag. I have the bank cord that I can rubber band to the outside. This is another one. This is the one I carry in my bag as part of my, it's my very basic kit that even if I have to drop my last bag that I can carry, I can still carry this and it has what I need in it. Now you can do a specialized kit. This is a fishing kit that I put together, one of these that I bought. Anybody who wants to look at this stuff, I'll have it available. This, another little bitty tin, is a sewing kit. It has thread, buttons, needles, whatnot in it. That's the use of some of these smaller tins. Even got a little bitty one here that I haven't figured out what to do with yet. So,
Fill
like I
that
said,
little tin with love.
it's full of something, air right now.
Well, you know, you could fill it with the air of a Kanye West concert, and it's selling for $1 million.
Oh,
on
ain't
the
that the
internet
truth?
right now.
But the little one actually, this is a commercial, but it uses, this is a fire starter aid that works very well, and it's small enough to actually fit in another tin. But this is some of the use. You can do this yourself. Vic is cotton balls and Vaseline. You can stuff a bunch of them in here, and like I said, it's part of another kit. It's all personal, just like Rick said. So if you buy one, you got what you got. But you can put whatever you want in it. Now this one, like I said, this is my tin can kit. Like I said, it's a bigger one. Because we're in Nevada, it's bright and sunny out here, I have fold-up sunglasses. That's one of the optional items. I carry a full-size knife. I carry paper, carry a pencil. This is the fire starter, same one I was showing you. The marker, the bracelet, bank cord, fire starter, candle. And on this one, because it is large enough, I carry this in here. I can cook or heat water in this thing.
Very cool.
So, of course, the whistle, the signaling device, the candle, mini flashlight, fire starting stuff, a mini compass. This one actually works quite well. And the orange thing is a Fresnel lens, which unfortunately this is a little bit too big for this. So if you have your paperwork, like what she was saying, you can wrap this up and it will fit even in these little tins. This is a very good tool because some of your paperwork that you want to carry, you can print it really, really small and you'll be able to read it with this and make a fire with this. Back in the case.
I have a question.
Yeah,
Just want to be sure, how do you pronounce the name of that lens?
Fresnel. Ask Vic, he'll tell you.
Maybe we should call Jay.
Huh?
Maybe we should call Jay.
Just call it.
Yeah, go ahead. I knew that was going to come up.
Thanks for pushing up like I did.
Again, one of the things you can carry, this is, I didn't bring the package, but this is Reynolds grill foil. It's a very heavy duty aluminum foil. You can fold it up really small and get it in some of these smaller tins. This is too much for the Altoids, but you can do that. Where's my list of other things? Okay, the signal devices, you can have little bitty whistles. There's a bunch of types. Again, they're in the pictures. There is a new, very compact, very flat signal mirror that will fit in these. The glass ones are too big for the tiny tins, but this new, really flat one would fit in these. For sharps, you can do a scalpel blade. That's about as small as you can get. The various razor blades, the various sizes. Small knives, wire saws, they're not going to fit in these. Scalpel blade will. Again, it depends on the size of your kit, what you're going to choose and what you need. Navigation, again, the button compass is about the only thing. The bigger kits, you can get a small flat base compass in. Fire making, don't do book matches. They really aren't a good choice. The good, they're in here somewhere. I really wasn't very well prepared for this, was I? Anyway, the outdoor, the UCO is what I was trying to say. The UCO all weather, cold weather, waterproof matches are good. Don't put the big package in. Get 5 or 6 of them. Put them in one of these little good bags. Add a striker strip. A lot of places they'll put the matches in. They got no way to strike them. So you want to have some type of way to make it. You can get the very small flint and steels. Those work. Again, size of the kit.
You can waterproof the regular wooden matches by like using candle wax.
Mhm.
Like,
The ones I make, I use clear
and then you
fingernail
just
polish.
Scrape them up in your
Yep.
red piece.
Those are a good choice to make your own. Again, Cordage, 550 cord and bank line are two of the pretty good cord cases. Again, they don't fit inside. You can get Kevlar cord, which is really tiny. You can use dental floss, a little coil of dental floss to get you some cordage. You can use the 750 cord, which is like the 550 cord, only it's thicker, has 11 strands inside, has a higher capacity. But again, wrap it around the container. Don't try to put it inside. Water purification and carry. I'm with Vic on this for this kind of carry. I use Cordage MP1 tablets. The only problem with them, you can see they're a little bulky, but they will purify, they will kill viruses. You do have to put it in and wait at least 40 minutes for it to kill viruses. Some of the other purification tablets do not, you have to be careful. Some don't do Cryptosporidium. That these do. These will kill Cryptosporidium, but you have to wait like 4 hours to do that. But any other type of filter in those little tins just is not going to work. Now you can carry, this would be a big one. This is a water bag and a filter and everything. But an oven baking bag, those are very compact. They squeeze down real small, and they're very tough. You can squeeze those in some of these larger kits, but you're not going to have a lot of, this is really, again, this is limited. You can only do certain things with these. And other than that roasting bag and some of those tablets, that's about all you're going to be able to do for water.
Question, Jerry, on some of the smaller kits, I wonder if we can get any of those really small eyedroppers, put some bleach in them?
You can do that, a tiny little amount, but it's the eyedropper that takes up so much space.
Right, okay.
But it is an option for some of these, something like this would fit in pretty good.
Because that only get 8 drops a gallon, so they
Yeah.
give you some range.
And you can get your little bottles. That's a good something like this, or even one of these that has a good seal in them. That's a good place to use your pill bottles for the bleach.
Yeah.
A small one, not the big ones.
Jerry,
Yes.
could you also just take a little piece of straw instead of an eyedropper and use that and just close it off when you want to take some out?
If you're good enough, you can.
Yeah.
If you're good enough. I'm not. I have to, my hands are too shaky. Some people put lights in them. This is one, fit in the bigger kit. It's the 9-volt one. I prefer one of these in the smaller kits. You can get it some even smaller than this. I think, who was it that had the little bitty? I think Linda had the small, the tiny one.
The nano.
Yeah.
These work really well, they're very compact, it's amazing how much light you can get.
That
I
was
use one of my
the-
keychains at all times.
Yeah. I gotta
I use
say
it at
that.
work, I use it a lot.
This is the kind that come in a lot of kits that you have lighting in it.
Get them for a few dollars, man.
Now, when it comes to food, again, you're not going to have a lot of space. Some of the things that I use will put in a bouillon cube. That'll let you cook up a roast a rabbit, make some soup, squirrel soup or whatever. Even just a hot cup of water, and this will help in a cold situation. I'm tea, not coffee. You can squeeze a tea bag in sometimes. Keep your mouth moist. These are small enough to throw in. These are chiclets, 2-piece chiclets. The hard candy that several people have mentioned, single piece, just to give you a sense. It's a small kit. Tootsie Roll, I hate the midgets. They get too hard and they're not enough, so I like the bigger size. Now, one of the things I do really advocate is some of the larger kits. These are called Maltese. These were used by the early explorers that went to North Pole, South Pole. They carried cases, huge boxes, cases upon cases of these things. It was a staple ration for them. I've got some, if anybody wants to try them, I carry them. These, when I'm walking in on some of our stuff, just around camp or whatever, I'll chomp down on one of these because I have to keep because I'm diabetic, I have to keep my energy level. These are very good. Kids love them. They sell it as candy. It's actually a very good, nutritious food. It's malt, oats, with a bunch of other stuff, good stuff for you.
Sorry, Jerry, what was that called again?
Maltese.
And where can you buy them at?
I get them online. I can't find them around here. There's a link in the paperwork.
Okay.
For 'em.
Oh, it's on the paperwork.
Pardon?
It's on the paperwork.
Yeah, it's on the paperwork. I buy these like 10 or 12 packages at a time. There's 3 of these in a box, but 9 tablets per. Like I said, you can fit these in some of the larger kits, and it's amazing what they will do for you. And that's, again, you're limited on food. Another option for lighting, I like the beeswax versions of the tea candles. And paper. The booklet's too big for the small kits. So you can rip a piece of this out, and it's waterproof paper. Like I said, you leave notes, you make your own notes, and you can use the pencil. And this is a space pen. This will fit in some if you prefer this to a pencil. Ink does eventually run out, but these are very good. You can write basically in the wet, on wet paper. This is what they took to the moon, actually. Another item you might carry, P51. P38 is smaller, P51 is easier for me to handle. Odds and ends, bandana, you can wrap it around the case, then tie your cord around it. Like I said, the emergency sunglasses, I have to have sunglasses. I just can't see on the snow without them. Like I said, the Ziploc, the handle for the pot, if you've got one large enough to do cooking in. And of course, the information cards, whether you print them up yourself or buy some of the commercial ones. The thing is, if you're going to do it, do the good stuff. Pick the size that you need for what you're going to do. Put some of these together, spread them all over the place so you've got something. A way to start fire, a way to signal, and a way to purify water are the main things. Sharp is nice, but not absolutely necessary. Like I said, I got a little discombobulated there, but those are the basics. But you can expand that to anything you want, and it's still a tin can kit. It's just bigger.
I was gonna say the Altas, you can get them in medium and large size too. I know you don't like them,
but one smaller than that, but I've never seen one bigger than that.
Yeah, there's a medium one, and then there's one that's about this big, and then there's one that's about this big.
Desktop model.
Okay. Like I said, you can make your own. I use side opening deal, so these tins the lids will go right back on. These you want to seal up pretty good, but you can even make a number 10 can kit if you want to. Well, that's about it. Any questions, comments?
Jerry?
Yes.
For your fishing kit, what do you usually recommend for in the fishing kit?
Good question.
Mag string winder with braided spider wire. This is, I think this is 30 pound with a snap swivel. This allows you to actually work a fish rather than just, and it will not cut your hands. If you use fishing line by hand without gloves or something, you're going to slice your fingers to bits. Got a little bank cord so I can run a trot line if I need to. Have some very dried out salmon eggs that they will soak back up. Some sinkers, some hooks. Have some spinner baits. These are my favorite small game or small fish baits. Plain hooks, not going to work very well. If you can dig up some worms, that's fine. But if it's the middle of the winter, you're not going to find them. Spinner baits, especially the dressed ones like these with the hair and stuff on them, they are very effective if you've got any skill at all, which is something you need to practice. They also bite you.
Careful.
Floater, a couple of wire leaders. These little jewels are fishing hook. If you can't tie a knot, it's really cold out, your fingers are cold, the line is small. I got these from Australia, and these allow you to attach a hook or something to your line without tying a knot. I'm going to have to review how to use them, but they have several different colors. So, see, these actually, where's my hook? I don't want to take it out. The hook goes in here, the line wraps through it and locks, but because you got different colors, they also act as an attractant. But that way you don't have to try to do a fisherman's knot in small line with cold fingers. And they don't take up much room. That's a specialty item. You may or may not want to include that. Like I said, I got them from Australia.
Online?
Online. I do so much online. Thank God for Amazon.
Jerry, are all your lures there, are they all treble or are they single hook?
They're all treble.
Okay.
Which I was worried about here fishing in Nevada because at one time there were some restrictions on treble hooks. You could only use single hooks. But I have been told at two of the sporting goods stores that no longer applies. You brought that up.
We talked about it. Everything I found in the Nevada fishing regulations, though, said no treble and no barred hooks.
This is an emergency.
But it depends on, depends on what part of the trucking
What
you're
part of the
fishing.
trucking, there was a limitation. I heard that they had lifted that.
Yeah, I think
Because it was
they lifted
ridiculous.
right now to get the fish out.
Yeah. But this is an emergency fishing kit. I'm not going to use this to go get my dinner tonight.
So you're not gonna run a trot line down in the trucking?
Probably not. But can't
That's Jerry on the news.
I can if I want
He
to.
looks good.
He's getting purple
Look at
eyes.
all those fish.
NNPG, go to our net site.